I'll be discussing the costs and benefits of solar, wind, geothermal, and fossil fuel energy. Some pros of solar energy. It's renewable, which means we can't run out. It's abundant, which means the potential is beyond imagination. The surface of the Earth receives 120,000 terawatts of solar radiation, 200,000 times more power than what is needed to supply the entire world. Solar energy is also sustainable, which meets the needs to present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. There is good availability because it's available everywhere. It reduces electricity costs as well. There are many applications, from distilling water in Africa to powering satellites in space. Some more pros. It is shared solar, which means homeowners can simply subscribe to community solar gardens, which means they don't have to actually have their own solar energy. It's also silent. There's no noise and no disruptions. There's financial support from the government and the state. There are rebates that have become available both on utility scale and for the majority of homeowners to make it cheaper. It's also low maintenance, and technology is continuing to improve, so solar energy will be much more common and less expensive in the future. Some cons to solar energy is it can be expensive to have solar panels put in. It's also intermittent. Energy storage is expensive. It's associated with some pollution to install the solar panels and creating them. It uses some exotic materials which are hard to come by, which makes it more expensive, and it requires a great deal amount of space. Some pros about wind energy. It's green, so there's very little pollution, if any. It has enormous potential. Harnessing wind energy can be done almost anywhere. It's renewable and space efficient. So the largest wind turbines are capable of generating enough electricity to meet the energy demands of 600 U.S. homes. There's rapid growth in this field, and prices are decreasing. Prices have decreased over 80% since 1980. Some cons of wind energy. It's unpredictable. Availability of wind energy is not constant because it needs a lot of space. There's some costs. Typically rely heavily on financial incentives in order to be competitive with other energy resources. There can also be a threat to wildlife because they are so big and they are in big open spaces. They can be very noisy, and it's a problem for people that live in the proximity of them, and the looks can be large and disruptive to landscapes. Some pros of geothermal energy. It's environmentally friendly, so there's a small footprint on land, and it's built partially underground. It's renewable and stable, and it's great for heating and cooling. Even small households can benefit. The cons of geothermal energy is environmental issues such as greenhouse gas emissions. There's also surface instability. It can actually cause earthquakes in some cases. The equipment for getting the geothermal energy, it can be quite expensive. Some pros to fossil fuels. It's well developed because it's been used to power the world for many years. It's reliable. It's excellent for energy-based load as well as opposed to wind and solar energy. It's also cheap. The government incentivizes this, which creates direct subsidies to fossil fuels. And some cons to fossil fuels. It can contribute to global warming. As we all know, it's also non-renewable, so once we run out, we're out, and it's unsustainable.